Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Gillespie, a women's health blogger at lisallc.com. I want to be perfectly frank with you from the get-go. I am not a professional web designer. I know just enough coding to be dangerous, so use this at your own risk. This is a solution that I have found works for being able to hide a Pinterest-friendly size image behind a regular image on a blog post. So I have people who share my posts on Facebook as well as Pinterest, and in my blog post I like to have the Facebook size image there and then hide a Pinterest size image behind it. The advantage of doing this and not just putting the Pinterest size image on the website is that it speeds up the load time of your page. Pinterest images are larger and they can slow down page load times. So there are several pieces to juggle with doing this. Keep this in mind. I like to have a text edit document open. So in the text edit document, I have my main code that I'm going to be using, and some of this I'm going to fill in with post-specific information. And then I also have a couple of pages open. So I have my images page in my Squarespace site open, and then I have another tab with the specific blog post open that I'm working on. So for the images tab, I created a page that I upload all of the images to that I want to have linked to Pinterest. This way, all my images are stored on my Squarespace site, and I use the link for that image from my site when I am putting the code in to hide the image. So when I have an image that I'm going to be using, I click on it so that it is showing, and you can use these arrows to pull them up. So once I get to the one that I'm going to be using, whether it's the image that I will be using on Pinterest or the image that I'm going to put into the post and hide the Pinterest image behind, I right click or double click, depending on if you're PC or Mac, on the image, and I do copy image address, and then I paste that into my text document so I know that I have it. And so here you can see this is the URL on my Squarespace site for this particular image. Then so that's the Pinterest image. Then I would also choose the image that I'm hiding it behind. So each image is going to have two image links that go along with it in the code. So this actually is one of the images in the blog post as well. So again, I will double click or right click on this, copy image address, paste it into my text document. Now you want to do these one at a time so you don't lose track of what image goes where. And then I'm going to go into my blog. So here's the post that I'm going to be hiding the images in. So I go into edit the post. Now I already have the images inserted into this, but if you were inserting an image from scratch, you would select where you want the image to go. You're going to look for a code block. So you want to use a code block. You're going to get rid of the Hello World script. Okay, so here you can see the code that is the basic framework for what you're going to be doing. This first link, the image source, is the image that you want displayed on your blog post. You'll put the alt description in after the alt tag. So whatever you want to show up in the alt tag is going to be put there. Then you're going to put the data pin description after it. So this is what you want to be keyword rich to get better search results on Pinterest. And then here we have the URL for the post. And then we have, I'll come back to the data pin ID information. This second image link is the image that you want to show up on Pinterest. So this is your Pinterest friendly image. So again, this first image is your blog post image that you want to show when somebody goes to your blog post. This is what I make sure is Facebook friendly. The second link is the link, the URL for the image that I want to show up when somebody pins this post. All right, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to paste that into this code box, code injection box. Now this is not the right image. This was an old one. You'll also notice here at the very beginning of this, I have information about a button for Pinterest, the data pin. What I have found is if I just do the code, sometimes the pin it button shows up. Most often it does not show up in my blog post. So I've added this in to make a button show up when somebody hovers over the image to make it that much easier to pin. So from there, you are going to apply, and then you can move your image to wherever you would like it to be in the post. I'm going to get rid of it since I don't want that there. And then you will save the image. You'll then take a look at your blog post and see, does the image look the way you want it? Does your pin it button show up? And what happens when you click on it? So this is the image that is Facebook friendly size that shows up on my blog post. Then when I click the pin it button, here is my Pinterest friendly image that shows up. And the Pinterest description, the pin description, is what shows up in the description. Now, since I already have this pin pinned onto Pinterest, I'll show you how to add the pin ID. So here is the pin I have on Pinterest. And if I click on the pin, you'll then see this number that shows up at the very end of the URL for the pin is the pin ID number. So each pin on Pinterest has a unique pin ID number that lets Pinterest know when a pin has been repinned, and it also lets it know that it's associated with a blog post. So I copy that pin ID number, then I go back and I edit my post, I edit the code box, and I want the pin ID number to be put right in there. So I've got my pin ID number matching this image up with this pin, or I should say matching the hidden image up with that pin. I have my data pin media, which shows the link for the Pinterest friendly image. I have my data pin description, which is the description that will show up when somebody pins this image. And then I have the image source, which is the image that shows up when somebody goes to my blog. And lastly, I have the alt tag, the alt description that will show up for visually impaired individuals who need that information. The only thing, just to make sure this isn't terribly confusing, the only thing I don't have on this is the Pinterest tag information. So if I wanted to add that, and again, this is one where it actually does show up for whatever reason without that code in there, but then there are other ones where it doesn't. So I've just started putting it in as default. So save it. You can reload the page just to double check. Click on that, and there we have different images in the blog post show up, but specifically the Pinterest friendly image shows up, so that can be shared and saved. Hope this was helpful for you and helps you create an image that is more Pinterest friendly and helps your blog be more accessible to people. Best of luck.